Hey guys, Captain C.A here from Flats Class YouTube. Another long day on the water. Beautiful though. I mean, beautiful, but a long day on the water to try to get some good results for my clients. Earlier this week, not so beautiful. Plenty of rain, plenty of wind, and dark skies. So how do you tackle that scenario? Well, fortunately for me, I had Rob and his dad Frank on board, and they were pretty decent fishermen. And we tackled those conditions with topwaters, spoons, and big paddle tails. So I'm gonna go set some of that stuff up in my shop. I'm already done washed the boat, probably get myself an adult beverage, get in there, put something together. You watch Rob and Frank catch some fish while I put everything, well, in order, if you will. This episode of Flats Class YouTube is brought to you by Aquatraction, your go-to solution for advanced marine flooring. That was a wicked hit out there on Topwater.
I knew if he stayed there long enough.
That was he'd been doing that all. That's awesome. Yeah, I get the net right here. Is it just a trout?
Really?
Man, that thing exploded.
Good size one.
Yeah, let's open
ready,
the net up. Yeah, just slide it forward. Oh, there you go. Just there. Good Lord. Let you reel down to him again. I'm gonna just scoop him. I mean, that thing blew up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
But still,
But it's still
that
a
was
nice start.
that was a big topwater fish. I mean, on days like today, when you have all this cloud cover and rain, that is definitely the deal. Some topwater. I'll unhook him and then we'll get it out of that net. I'll tell you what, I love adding those segments into my tip videos because it's proof when it's just not me catching the fish. It's customers and clients and friends and family catching the fish. But did that trout unload on the topwater? I cannot tell you. I mean, he smashed that bait. And that's what happens on those dark, blowy type of spitty rain days. You get a lot of great topwater action. Now, I told you there's gonna be 3 baits, but this is the first one we're gonna talk about. This is the top pup from Mirrorlure. I bent the barbs down on this, but still it got tangled inside that net. I use a short section of leader. You'll see the knot right there. So that's a pretty short section of leader, probably 10 to 12 inches, that's it. This is the Talavera Inshore. It's a 7-foot medium action rod, okay? It's fast, it's not extra fast. So there's enough play there so that you can walk the dog. And I was having Rob work that bait hard, click, clack, click, clack. I mean, really driving it in the water to make a lot of noise because we had a little bit of riffle or chop on the water. And sometimes that's not the best conditions to throw topwater. But I was familiar with that zone. There was a lot of hard bottom there, and you might even seen it in the video. You could see the sponges and some of the hard substrate there. And those fish love to set up on top of that stuff when that water gets high. And we had a good west wind that was blowing it in there, so fishing was phenomenal, phenomenal. Now, we caught some nice fish on spoons as well. And the spoon that we use a lot at Flats Class is just the Aqua Dream spoon. Now we have some of our custom spoons too, but this Aqua Dream Gold spoon is really a great spoon to use. It's 1/4 ounce. It's got a scale pattern on it, catches a lot of light, which is important. These willow blades, when they flash and turn and roll over the sponges and rocks and through the grass, you want them to capture what available light you have there. And on medium action tackle, you can cover a ton of water and they just really draw strikes. For me, I don't like to use spoons on bright days, but I love to use spoons on those darker, cloudy, overcast days where you have some wind that diffuses all the light. You need that attractive bait. The spoon works good. Now I'm going to tell you about bait number 3 while you watch this video right here. Spoon red.
C.A. mine was bigger.
Tell you what, on these gray days, spoons work. Made a big comeback today.
Just like you said, as tides come up, here we
Yep,
go.
for sure. For sure. Got them up on the rocks. Those guys are so much fun. When you can still be fishing with your father, Frank, there, at 80 years young, Rob is a lucky man to still have him by his side fishing in the boat. It was just an incredible day of fishing. In fact, so incredible. Take a look at some of these pictures of the fish these guys caught. You got to admit, those are a couple of nice fish, and we probably ended up catching a good 15 to 20 fish that day, but there's 2 or 3 highlights for you right there. All right, let's talk about the last bait. The last bait is something that worked for Frank very well, and that's throwing an oversized paddle tail. This one's in the pinfish color. We threw it a lot in the smoky shad as well. The main deal is it's a real scaly looking bait, and it's a little darker. On those dark days, you want to use baits that silhouette, even in clear water. The pinfish and the smoky shad have that little bit of silhouette in those overcast, blowy, rainy conditions. And Z-Man makes these 5-inch tails, and they're excellent when you put them on 1/4 or 3/8 redfish eye jig heads. So that's where I use them the most. You can cover tons of water, super long cast, reel them over the top of the rocks. As that water comes up, it really does provide some incredible action. And this bait is the one that actually produced that nice snook that you're going to see here in a minute, or you saw in the picture, but you're going to see the video here in a minute. But that's really the key. The key is bigger, darker, flashier, splashier baits. When you're faced with conditions like that, that's what I think. Big baits, flashy baits, topwater baits, something that's going to create a commotion, something that you typically would not use on a Chamber of Commerce day like I had today, where I worked 9 hours to catch the same number of fish. All right, I promised you could see Frank release his nice snook. Here you go. See Frank, and come back here in 1 minute, and I'm going to show you the close on how we're going to close all this stuff out and give you a little going away tip.
Ready to go, turn you over. Now you can hang on to my thumb for a minute.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Look at that thing.
Rainy
That's
days.
a thrill in a boy. He hit that thing and life was.
You getting these rainy days,
Oh yeah.
top waters and big paddle tails.
Well, I was fishing paddle tails all wrong.
Yeah, just straight rolling them.
That's,
Up near the surface.
yeah. Well, you know.
He was cranking it hard there at the end just so he could pull it out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, bub. Take off. There you go. You all right?
Off he goes.
I'm out of town. Oh.
That adult beverage. Still haven't been able to finish one off. Hey, was that not a great trip with Rob and Frank? Little bit jealous of Rob having his pops around at 80 years young, still able to fish. And I mean, Frank is a seriously good fisherman. Guy moves around like a cat on your boat all day long. He did not rest one bit. He stayed at it all day. And it really produced for me. All right. Stormy, windy, breezy, pre-front days. Do not give up and think you need to use natural bait. Artificial lures work. That three-time punch there where you use topwater, spoons, and big paddle tails. I mean big paddle tails, something that puts a thump in the water. It'll help you catch more fish. It's just that simple. And it's my job to make you catch more fish because you're watching Flats Class YouTube. All right, give us the thumbs up. hit the notification bell, tell your fishing buddies, and join Flats Class Nation. We're here to put more fish in your boat and make you better anglers. All right, I got to get back at it. I got to get ready for tomorrow's trip.